Okay folks, this is the heart that we're going to be working on today in this tutorial. This is the one I'll be finishing before you, and this is another one that I've already done, and I just wanted to show you both of these hearts today and how gorgeous they are. They're very sparkly, and I'll show you how I get all of that beautiful sparkle on these as well. So stay tuned for the video, and I hope you enjoy this one. It's going to be fun. Thanks. Hey everybody, it's Carol with Refunction Crafts again, and I am going to bring to you a short tutorial on altering this cute little heart-shaped tin. It was originally a Brighton tin, probably had jewelry in it. I used them, my friend Carol sent me a Happy Mail package, and she sent me several of these tins, so I wanted to alter a couple of them. One I've already done. This one I'm going to do a little bit different today, but I thought I'd bring you a quick tutorial on altering one of these beautiful tins. I just love them, and I'm excited to do this today. So let's go ahead and get started. What I did was I actually already painted the outside with chalk paint. And whenever I paint anything that is a tin like this, I paint it with the lid on. Paint the entire outside of the tin. And that way I leave this part the way that it was originally, provided it's something that looks okay. And this does. It kind of gives it a cool contrasting look. So, and then this one I painted the inside because the inside does say something about Brighton or whatever, and so I just went ahead and painted over that. And I don't know whether I'll do it today, but I may put something on the inside there, maybe a piece of felt or something to cover up, you know, just the blah white. But anyway, for today we're just going to decorate the outside of this tin. And we're going to make it super pretty. Oops, not putting it on there right. Okay, so I've got some little items here that I'm going to be using to alter it with, and hopefully I can make this a fairly short video today. Nothing too long, but nothing too short either. And I love your comments. When you guys leave comments about, you know, length of video and things like that. Some people do not like long videos. And they get very sort of irritated if a video is too long. However, I am of the school of thought that for me, if you're racing through the whole video and I'm seeing bits and pieces of what you're doing, you're not doing a tutorial then. So, and that's just my opinion. That's the way I feel. But if you guys prefer that I keep them short, I go with the majority rules. So far, most of you have said that you enjoy the longer videos and the explanation of what I'm doing in my videos. So hopefully that reigns true still, and we can keep them going that way. If not, you know, I'm willing to work with everyone and do this the way that the majority would like me to do my tutorials. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and get started with this. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to take and put a border around the outside of this heart. I'm not going to go with that. I think what I'm going to do, oh, here. I have this really pretty, let me get it out of my little box here. This is a pretty pearl and rhinestone chain that I got from my friend Carol. She sent it to me in some Happy Mail, and I've been waiting to use it on the perfect thing, but it does have little threads that need to kind of be cut off the edges of it so that it doesn't look messy when you put it on the box. So I'm just going to kind of go over it and make sure that I have those trimmed on the areas of the chain that I'm going to be using today. So I'm just kind of going over it, making sure that I don't see any pieces that are sticking out too bad. And then I'm just nipping those off. So, and this I'm going to be putting on with E6000, because we all know that if you put something like this on with hot glue, it's not going to stay for very long. And we don't want that, especially me, since I do sell most of my items in my Etsy shop. I want to make sure that that they are on there well. And E6000 is the best glue that I have found to make sure that that's exactly what happens. So that's why I use E6000 on things like this. It's hard surface to hard surface. It's getting E6000. So that's just my rule of thumb. If it's fabric that I'm putting on, like I will be adhering some lace to this heart, I will just use hot glue. And my hot glue of choice is Gorilla Hot Glue. So that's what I use. I feel like it works really well. It's easy to work with, and it doesn't, you know, it seems to stick really well. So anyway, okay, so the first thing we're going to do, excuse me, I seem to have the sniffles this morning, is I'm going to start down here at the bottom, and I'm just going to go around the lid of the tin with this E6000, and I'm going to go all the way around because we have a little bit of working time with E6000 that we don't have with hot glue. Although, don't wait too long with E6000 because it does dry fairly quickly. So you don't want to mess around too long, or it will do the same thing that hot glue will do and your pieces won't stick to it. Okay, so I'm going to start, I think I'm going to start down here at the point, and I'm just going to go around. Now normally you'll see me when I do pieces like this and I'm working with just strictly rhinestone chain, I will put it so that the rhinestones are facing up. With this chain, it's not made that way. This is going to be something that's going to look pretty from the side of the box, and you don't want to face it up because it's flat on the bottom. So I don't think you would be able to get it to stick well, and it would not stay if you tried to face these upwards. So in this case, we're going to face them out, and then we will put something around the top of the box that enhances the look of this rhinestone chain. So we're still going to get a beautiful look, but this one's going to be beautiful from top and side and every which way, which really even the ones that I face towards the top are beautiful going either direction. But I am going to put a dot of hot glue right there to try and stick this down and get it to stay while I continue to work on this heart. And I'm going to do the same to this one. Oops, and it keeps sliding out of my hand. There we go. And press it down. And then I'm just kind of going around pressing in on these so that I make sure they stay where they need to be and they haven't slid down somewhere from me touching it and moving it while I'm trying to get them all around the heart. Okay, so we've got that on. And there's what it looks like on the side. Looks really pretty. Just kind of snazzes up the heart a bit. And then we're going to go on the top, and I don't know, you know, I'm thinking about maybe going with a layer of this across the top as well, because it really is very pretty. I think we're going to do that. So I'm going to take my E6000 and I'm going to do a bead of that around the outside top part of the heart. I'm just making sure that I get it across the entire thing. Don't miss any spots, because then you'll get a lift of your rhinestones, and that's how they begin to fall off, is if there's a spot that's not, that hasn't touched down properly. And then I'm going to try a little dot of hot glue right here when I put on this first piece. And then we're just going to start kind of laying it down all the way around. And I don't think I got off camera with any of that, so hopefully I didn't. So hopefully you guys saw what I did there. I wasn't paying attention to my camera. Sometimes I get very engrossed in what I'm doing and I forget to check my camera angle. And I have been known a time or two to get off camera with my stuff. More so in the beginning than I do now. I'm pretty good at not letting that happen now, but there are occasions where I've had people say, you got off camera there, Carol. Watch what you're doing. And for that, I'm sorry, but I try very hard to try and stay in your view with everything I do. Okay, so now that looks really, really pretty. So now we've got the side layer and the top, and it looks really, really pretty. It gives it that extra sparkle. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is this one's going to have a little bit more of a vintage look, and I know I painted it white, but once I add these vintage looking appliques, you'll see that it kind of makes the whole thing look a little bit more vintagey. And I think I'm going to cut one more piece of this off. And I've just taken these appliques off of a lace trim that was sent to me in Happy Mail. And I think I'm pretty sure, you know what, I'm not exactly sure who I got this piece from. I think it may have been Debbie over at Kiki's sale, but I'm not positive. I don't remember. If it was somebody else and you're watching this video, remind me of who it was so that I can give you credit for sending me this applique. I think it was Debbie. I'm pretty sure it was Debbie over at Kiki's sale that sent me this. But I'm just going to go ahead and make sure that I have that kind of going across. In fact, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these two pieces apart so that I can overlap them just slightly, so that I can kind of fit them in the space a little bit better, like that. So that's what we're going to have, is that beautiful looking applique over the top of the heart. So we'll start gluing those down. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my hot glue and sort of layer it where I know that flower is going to sit. And we'll do the same thing here for this one. And then if there's any edges that I need to press down with additional glue, I can do that on the back end. Okay. But it's just a little easier to put the glue onto the box than it is to put it onto the applique, because they kind of want to float around a little bit. Okay. Got a little piece of glue that popped up there. That's okay. Okay, so now we've got our appliques glued on. And I'm going to take, I even took this applique out as well, thinking that maybe I would use a little bit of this as well. But I'm debating on whether or not I want to put that pink color in there, and I really don't think I do. I think I want to just leave this one in the monotone colors, in the browns and beiges, because that was sort of my intent when I got started with this, and I'm going to leave that as I intended. So we're not going to use this other applique, although it's absolutely gorgeous, and I can't wait to use that in something else. But today I'm going to just use, I'm going to go ahead and start gluing on my flowers. And these are just paper flowers that I get at a local shop near me. And I sell these in my store sometimes. I don't know if I have any in there now, just the flowers by themselves. But if you guys think you have a need for some of these little paper flowers. They're really pretty. Then maybe I'll get some more and get some more in my shop. I honestly don't know if I have any more left in my shop, to be honest. I may have one package, but even that I'm not sure of. So you can go on over there and check, and if you guys leave messages for me saying that, you know, this is something you feel you really need, then I can go ahead and go down and see if I can get some more of those and add them to my store. Because the monotone colors are just gorgeous, and to me they look very elegant. And these are just little tiny silk flowers, and these little flowers, honestly, if I'm being honest with you guys, and I always am, I bought these little tiny silk flowers at a thrift store. They had an entire bag full of these little flowers. And so I went ahead and bought them because I knew I could use them in my crafts. And they've come in so handy on so many projects. I just love them. But I got a huge bag of them, and I was just super excited when I saw them at the store. I think maybe that one I'm going to put in the top because it's a little different. This one's a little bit different shade of beige. So we're going to put that one sort of in the top here. And I could probably use one more, but I don't see any more. And I don't know what I did with my bag of them, unfortunately. I see other colors, but not the colors that I'm looking for. So rather than put something that I don't want in there, I do have, let's see, I have some white ones, but well, you know what? Actually, I think I might put a couple of white flowers in there because the box is white. And I think that might just kind of pull the whole thing together, now that I think about it. I mean, I've got a couple of flowers that are just this cream color as well, but I don't think I want to use those. I think I'll just grab a couple of these little white flowers and throw them in there in a couple of spots. And let them take care of pulling in the white with the beige and brown tones. I'll put this one over here. Hopefully I didn't ruin it by adding the white ones in there. And then I'm going to actually put, let's see, I'm thinking about putting one of these little flat back pearls in the center of this white flower on the top. It needs a little something in it. There we go. And then what we're going to do is I think I'm going to put this little filigree piece right there. These little filigree pieces my friend Carol sent me in Happy Mail, and in fact I have some more, and I think I'm going to use one more of these. She sent me this beautiful bag of filigrees, and they are perfect for this project because it just adds that vintage feel to the piece. I just want to make sure I get it placed right and don't push my rhinestone trim off in the process. Okay, so I'm just going to put it right there. Got my glue down. Got that in there. And honestly, I'm wondering, let me cut one more of these brown flowers off of here. I know it seems like a lot of flowers on one little piece, but yeah, I think that's too big. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do what I do best and take things apart. I'm just gonna take a couple layers off of this brown flour and make it smaller, if we can get it apart there. And we've now made a smaller brown flour, and I'll put that in there. So don't forget, you guys, when you've got the bigger flowers, especially the paper flowers, you can always take them apart and make them a little smaller. And this one I'm going to add a little flower petal on the inside here. And I should have gotten my toothpick ready before I did that, but I didn't. There we go. And I'm just kind of shaping it a little bit so that it looks right in there. And I think I'm going to take even another one and sort of, I'm just going to take it and twist it a little bit. And I'm going to put a little bit of hot glue inside there. Take my toothpick and I'm going to press the point of that in there and just sort of press that petal up a little bit. There. Make sure I get my little bits of glue off of there. Okay, so that's what it looks like so far. Super pretty. Lots and lots of flowers on there, but trust me, it looks amazing all put together. And then I think I'm going to take, I've got these little bits and pieces here. And this one actually goes really nicely with this. And I think I'm going to put that in there. And I'm just going to hold it down for a minute. And then I'm going to use this piece, which my friend Lauren sent me in Happy Mail. And oh my gosh, Lauren, this rose is amazing. Look at this, you guys. She sent me this brooch to use in my crafts, and it is absolutely stunning, and it's going to be gorgeous on this box. So I'm just going to, whoops, I almost went totally hot glue on this one. I'm going to put some E6000 on this in a couple of locations. And close up my E6000 real quick. And then I'm going to take some hot glue and I'm just going to add that to a couple of spots here. And then we'll lay it down on the top of the box exactly where we want it to be and hold that flower down. We do not want this to come off at any point in time. Now the hot glue is going to set it now, and the E6000 is going to keep it set forever, hopefully. But this is, I'm going to say, one of the prettiest boxes I've ever done. Thank you, Carol Nixon, for sending me these heart boxes, because I've had a lot of plans for them. I showed the other one that I did in my last video when I did the tiny pillbox tin. I think I'm going to put one more little button piece over to this side and glue that in, just for an added piece of bling over in that direction. There we go. Not that this box needed another piece of bling, but you know, you could never have too much. Okay, and the last thing that I'm going to do on this, you guys, is I'm going to add a little bit of diamond dust. And you all know I love my diamond dust. It makes me very happy. And to do that, I'm going to use some triple thick. And here is my Floracraft diamond dust. So we'll be using that and that to make this sparkle like crazy. So what I need to do is I need to get a paintbrush here. And we're going to start with the triple thick. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to put this, I'm going to use this little plastic container lid to put my triple thick in. And we're just going to start brushing this on. I want it brushed onto the flowers. And on the lace, we'll put some on the lace in bits and pieces, you know, different places. But if you haven't seen my other videos where I use diamond dust, you'll see today just what a wonderful product it is. The thing that you need to understand about diamond dust though is, and some of you may not want to use it, you may want to use a glitter or something like that if you have children, is that diamond dust is made using crushed glass. So it is literally little pieces, shard pieces of glass that are crunched up and turned into a glitter. I have never personally cut myself on it, but I can see where the potential could be that, you know, if a child was working with it, number one, you would never want a child to work with it and touch their eyes or their face, or, you know, and we all know kids are famous for doing that. So that's, you know, your first warning, you know, that you definitely would not want them touching their face and playing with this and touching their face. I mean, because it could be a really, really bad situation. So personally, I feel like, you know, you just need to, any product like this, if you're going to use it or have it in your house, keep it away from the kids, number one. And don't work on it when they're around, you know, don't let them play with it, you know, because it's just not safe for kids to use. This is an adult craft product. Okay, so I have pretty much covered all of the flowers and the lace and all of those things. And this, you can see possibly from there that this triple thick looks a little bit milky. That's okay because it dries clear. So that's not a problem. So we're just going to take this, I'm going to set that aside. Here is the diamond dust. I'm going to shake off my paper towel here because I want to do this over a clean paper towel so that I can shake off my diamond dust back into the container once I'm done. And we're just going to take and just kind of go over the top of this thing and let the diamond dust fall where it may. Shake it on like sugar. And that's kind of the effect it gives, is like a sugary, shiny look to your pieces. And I'll show you what I usually do once I get it on there. I see there's a couple of spots where I didn't get a good amount of triple thick on there, so I'm going to need to put a little bit more to these side pieces here. I often tend to do that. I miss little side bits and pieces because I don't turn it around when I'm brushing it on there. So, but we'll get those. The other thing that I do, once I get my triple thick and my diamond dust on there, and it looks pretty much covered the way I want it, you don't have to go crazy like I just did. You don't need that much diamond dust. Honest to goodness, a small amount goes a long way with this stuff. But the one thing that I do is I take my hand, or you can take a popsicle stick or anything that you sort of have laying around. I have these little wooden pieces and just tap it and get any pieces that are sticking up on those flowers, tap them down. I use my fingers just because it's easier for me for the video, and it's not causing any damage to my fingers. Again, do not let kids do this, because this is what I mean about going from the project to the fingers to the eyes, and we don't want kids doing that. Always, always wash your hands directly after using diamond dust. That's very important. So I've tapped it all down. I've tapped it off of there, and I'm going to take this leftover diamond dust, because we have a clean napkin here, and I'm just going to dump it right back into my diamond dust container. This stuff goes a long way, but it's not cheap. I have found, though, that this Floracraft brand is less expensive than the Twinklets brand, which is what I used to buy. So I started buying this instead. And it does exactly the same thing. So anyway, so this is the heart. You can see all of the sparkle from the diamond dust. And once the triple thick dries, it's even clearer and more sparkly. But you can see it's already full of wonderful, wonderful sparkle. And this is a gorgeous tin heart box that anyone would love to receive. You could put a gift in it. You could just give it to somebody as a little jewelry box. Whatever, you know, whatever your heart desires, you can use it for, and gift it to somebody for. And what a fun project this was to do. So anyway, I just wanted to show you guys this beautiful project. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope you have a wonderful week. And I'll be seeing you guys soon with another tutorial. Be blessed. Bye-bye.